how does a discipline where you keep the sword in your saya become so important? Why do the Japanese warrior focus so much on one single movement? Before we start to explain what Iaijutsu from Takeda Ryu really is, I think it's appropriate to go back in history and try to find out what Iaijutsu means. And to find out what the distinction between Iaido and Iaijutsu is. Iaido is very famous, but Iaijutsu? The first emperor city was Nara, and it was a peaceful time. It was harsh for the citizens, but it was a peaceful time, and the emperor from Nara had a very strong business relationship with China. So a lot of Chinese merchants, scholars came over to Japan, and of course they brought the sword. So this was the first time where the Japanese saw a different sword than their own. And the sword at that time was not the main weapon. At that time the main weapon was the bow. Kyudo, one of the oldest Japanese martial arts, was found at that time. So, like always, roses are red, violets are blue. There's always a Japanese more clever than you. They took these swords and started to make their own. They learned it and they tried to perfect it. It's important to mention that in Nara time, this was the first time when the word samurai came to light. And the kanji translated simple means servant of the temple, protector of the temple. So these were the guys who protected the temple. The temples at that time had a very big influence on the emperor, and even the monks inside the temple used to learn to fight with the naginata, which is a wooden stick, and on top of it there is a small sword. So they were kind of famous, and they are called Yamabushi, the warriors from the mountain. So then we have 1300, and suddenly the Mongols invade Japan. Our brave samurai, who over the centuries now became the so-called Bushi, a warrior, stood against the mighty big giants of Mongolia. And it happened that while a samurai was trying to block a hit from the Mongolian sword, his sword broke. Immediately it was clear our swords are not good enough. And this is the time when the swordsmith of Japan thought about a new way of making swords. This is the time when they invented the multiple folding of the blade. During that time, they also understood we need to work on our fighting skills. And this is the time where the first schools, serious schools, started to spread. And as we come closer to the Sengoku Chidai, to the centuries of fighting, each clan, each family, on their own, created their own systems for fighting with the sword. But it should take quite a long time before Iaijutsu was created. Because in the old times, when they fought against each other with the sword, they already had the sword drawn. So they had it out and started with the fight. Okay? This is the main purpose of sword fight. So having the sword drawn out before going into the fight and then start with your fight, okay? This is pictured in Kenjutsu. And it took quite a long time for the people to realize that there's an opportunity. Like it always is in fighting, there are two main principles which always win. It's speed and it's power. And only if two opponents clashes each other who have the same power and the same speed, then we start with strategy. So forget all this strategy before you even made your first hit. No. Speed and power are two main reasons why you win a fight. It's the base. That's the reason why today martial arts who do not put many effort in strategy, in history, but in power and speed will win at the beginning. But once you gain that and you start with strategy, always a strategist must win. And this is what they understood. So, how does a discipline where you keep the sword in your saya become so important? Why do the Japanese warrior focus so much on one single movement, which is drawing the sword? How you draw the sword. And this is the meaning of Iaijutsu. Iaijutsu means the capability, the technique, the art of drawing a sword. We are just drawing a sword. One movement. We are just drawing one sword. And this gets a whole school system, a whole mental strategic system, just drawing a sword. Japan, right? That's the reason why Japan is so famous. And nobody wants to copy it. It's small movements made to perfection, right? So what was the advantage now? So while the opponent is drawing the sword and wanting to attack, you wait, and while he's drawing the sword, you draw it and immediately cut with one hand. Right? So you have an advantage. So I have drawn, boom! You understand? And after I cut with one hand, then of course I take the sword in two hands and start regular Kenjutsu fight. So it's really this one part, only this one part, which defines Iaijutsu. And this is what they found out. They just tried to finish as fast as possible, because as long as a smaller guy fights a bigger guy, power, speed will overcome them. So they had to find a way, and this is Iaijutsu. And over the centuries, of course, it grew, it became better. And during the Sengoku Jidai, after this principle of drawing a sword was made an art, every family, even every small clan, created their own system, because they were fighting each other. And they kept these systems secret, of course, because if he knows my way of fighting, he can beat me. And then, fast forward in history, the Emperor of Japan declares the samurai class over. Japan has to move in the modern era. All the weapons were not allowed to be worn anymore, so the samurai were without work. A lot of them started their schools, their dojos. It was a time of 250 years of freedom, of kind of liberty. So nobody was interested in martial arts anymore. And this is when in Kyoto, they sat down and discussed how can we preserve this cultural heritage. And from a few of these hundreds and hundreds of schools, a few of them sat down and said, okay, we must make a society, a corporation. And as these old guys all had been from families having their own style, it was the first time that it was shown to each other what the other school did. And out of this, they made a catalog. And out of this catalog, they made a curriculum. But Iaijutsu still existed because not everybody joined this society. Like Takeda Ryu did not join this society. Takeda Ryu Iaijutsu stayed in the past. So with our Iaijutsu, and this is the main difference, we still fight each other. No, don't worry. We don't kill each other. On longer distance, we still have an opponent in front of us. We do not need to imagine this person. And our school, our exercise, always emphasize on reality as best as possible. But let's be fair and let's be honest. You will hear a lot of old schools talking about glorious, magnificent history. Well, Takeda Ryu does the same when they talk about Takeda Shingen, 1500s, who was one of the biggest warlords Japan. He was compared to Napoleon with his cleverness in strategic fighting. He was the one who brought Sun Tzu, the art of war, into the Takeda clan, which is written down on the Furin-kazan. This is from Sun Tzu. I actually was in the Takeda shrine, and there is an original. But all the time, when the Takeda clan fought another clan and won, they took in their martial artists and they forced them to teach their knowledge to the Takeda. Everybody else did the same. And it's very important to understand that when it comes to sword fight, nearly all schools, all old schools in Japan go back to one man, and he's called Tsukahara Bokuden. When you want to know something about Tsukahara Bokuden, please go in the internet. He is considered the one sword guy making history. And from his technique, there are a lot of deviations in different schools. And one of the schools, which the Takeda Ryu took in, or let's say forced to be taught, is the so-called Kurama Ryu. Kurama Ryu is one of the oldest martial arts schools in Japan. And Kurama Ryu Iaijutsu became famous because one guy was, let's say, not a castle, it was in a small village, but he had these wooden palisades around him, right? So the Takeda came there and said, we will take the city. The door was open, one guy stood there and said, no. So they sent in the first 20 samurai, and within minutes he killed all of them and closed the door. So they were kind of afraid. They said, we will come in next day. He said, no. On the next day, when the samurai woke up and wanted to go into the village, The door was already open, but nobody was to be seen. So out of the experience from last day, they were kind of afraid and looked and walked in, and suddenly the guy jumped in and killed again everyone. So after losing dozens of samurai, while drinking coffee and having a cigarette, Takeda Shingen got attention. What is going on? So he went there. And now this strategic move of Takeda Shingen. He went to this guy and said, okay, listen, teach us what you do. We obviously have no chance against you. Teach us. I will spare this village, but you come with me and you will teach us. And this is Kurama Ryu. And what he taught to the Takeda samurai was involved Iaijutsu and made it grow. So that's the historical background. It's important to understand that there's nearly no now existing old sword school not having included other schools into their system. So when somebody tells you pure, forget it. It's definitely wrong. In Takeda Ryu, Iaijutsu, we focus on drawing the sword in a manner that we immediately can cut the opponent while he is attacking us. Or we draw the sword for blocking and then attacking, okay, if someone is attacking us. And then after these 2, maximum 3 actions are finished, we are in the topic of Kenjutsu, because we already have our sword outside and now we start to fight. So this is now part of Kenjutsu. So the first 3 seconds of a fight is what is important for Iaijutsu. What you learn in Iaijutsu is to have clear vision, you need to be brave, and you need to be fast. Speed is the only thing that rules, because you have a sword. My master always says, let the sword do its job. When I started to cut, I was like a Canadian wood chopper, right? I was like, okay, I always wanted to cut the maki at the beginning, which is completely wrong. It works like this. You are relaxed when you cut, because you have a sword, and the sword cuts. Let the sword do its job, he always said. So all we need to do is to be very, very fast. Okay? And the sword does the rest. You can relax. Okay? And this is the most difficult thing to learn in Iaijutsu, being relaxed. Okay? So the difference between Iaido and Iaijutsu is that Iaijutsu still focus on the battlefield, on the one-to-one combat, and having a person in front of us who tries to win, who tries to be smarter than us, and who tries to kind of imaginary kill us. So we always stay in contact with this kind of reality. And what divides us from all other schools in Japan is that we also have a competition. We have a sword competition which is called Battojiai. There are specific parts of it, but the main goal is speed, beauty, correctness, and the will to win. And when you look closely, you see that they are, at the beginning, both are attacking, and then one is attacking, the other one is defending and re-attacking. So all these kind of mental problems of switching sides in your brain, of attacking and defending, all this takes part in our competition. So this is the main difference between Takeda Ryu Iaijutsu and the rest of Iaijutsu and Iaido.